Come with me as I go to Oslo, well, actually Norway, to Midgardsblot Festival, which is a Viking and metal music festival. So I got quite a late flight, I will admit, for me, because I normally fly quite early from Stansted to Oslo. Ryanair, whoop. Got on the old direct train, kind of like the Heathrow Express, but far nicer, as you can clearly see from this video. It meant that I did arrive into Oslo itself quite late at night. That meant an incredibly early morning start for me, as I had to head out to the coast, which meant getting a train from Oslo station for about an hour and a bit. And it was a beautiful train, I will admit. There's even vending machines on these trains. I mean, what are we living in? It's beautiful. The really bad footage you can see here, but it is really pretty on the way. Don't fret. Got into Midgardsblot, and Viking reenactors were there. It was a crazy event. It was basically a mix of music, theatre, poetry, reenactment, and just overall an amazing experience. I will just say I have never been more welcomed. There was a press tent for us. We had passes to pretty much everywhere we wanted to go. I mean, the people were just brilliant. The weather for the first day was amazing. I was there on my own for the first day. My friend Marco was joining me on the second day. So as you can see, look at the dancing. Look at these beautiful women dancing. Oh my God, like just everyone, the vibe was just brilliant. Everyone was really friendly. There's some of my fellow photographers, press photographers. We're in the pit here. This band, honestly, this band were amazing. They're called Skuld. I might have that wrong, so forgive me. They were really, really incredible. Like, honestly, we had to wait outside of the pit for their first song, which is 100% okay. We were out loud in for the next the three songs, I think it was. But yeah, everybody was really vibing with them. There was another stage as well over the other side. Again, just a brilliant, just loads of stuff going on, as you can imagine. This is a brilliant footage. The head-banging Viking warriors just like doing their thing, reenact, just brilliant. Everyone was really feeling it. It was ram-packed. Now, the second day we did have a lot of rain, but honestly, it did not deter the spirits. I love this. Look at them. Look at them go. I won't say I'm like a massive lover of all heavy metal, but I did actually enjoy all of the bands that were on. They weren't just the two stages. There is a second location called the Guild Hall, I think it's called, inside there. Now, I'm not going to share any footage from them because it was human suspension and I don't want to get myself told off on YouTube. But Morten and his whole team there were absolutely incredible. There's images on Midgardsblot's own Instagram. I'll put the links below so you can go have a look at that. I took along with me my 24-70, my 40mm, an 85, and some Lens Baby Omni filters. The reason why I didn't take anything bigger than that is because I was traveling, I had to keep lightweight, and I wished I had bought my 70-200 for the odd one or two pictures, but I think given what I had and how close we are to the pit, as you can see, we did really, really well. I will just say, if you are going to be a gig photographer, make sure you put the insurance up, make sure you understand your routes, and for God's sake, wear ear protection at all times.
So I've technically wrapped for this part of the day because I'm staying in Oslo. I need to get back.
As well as the music, there is Viking reenactors who are selling their handmade wares. Anyway, they live and breathe Viking reenactment, as you can see here. I saw some great skills on display and some amazing outfits. People really did dress up. The bands are really cool. I did bring out my Omni filters that I use on the odd occasion just to give a little bit of oomph, because during the daytime, particularly, the light was really harsh and it was there wasn't as dramatic as it could be. Mainly because the sun was literally beaming into their eyes. The bands were just brilliant. Honestly, we were in a pit, so we're at the front of the stage. Some were like quite a small, narrow pit, and then some were really quite wide. And because there were so many photographers, we were kind of limited to where we could and couldn't stand. I made sure I got crowd shots. People just really got into this. It's such a welcoming and friendly, and I cannot reiterate this enough, friendly environment. Everyone was just lovely. People really felt the music. I mean, the Teletubby always cracks me up. I'll just say that now. I was amongst one of probably 130, it felt like at times, photographers. There was lots of them wandering around, but in the pit, maybe 10 at most. But it still got crowded, particularly on that second smaller stage. But it was really nice to see the reenactors working and people just dressing up and enjoying themselves. I tried desperately just to show the diversity of people going, so people didn't think it was just all people into the Viking scene, although people really did lean into that look. I cannot get over how many people came around. So people came from Poland, Dubai, there were some people from Australia there, honestly, and they were just so happy to be just coexisting in this space together. And I think that's just a testament to how great this festival really is. As the light started to drop, the lighting on stage really showed off itself, and I had to work a little bit harder just to get my space in the pit, but still, I'm really proud of what I got. And can I say, nothing will prepare you for for mosh pitting, shall I say, mosh pitting Vikings. Honestly, they are the highlight of anyone's day. So yeah, that went on. I kind of shot with a fairly high ISO, mainly because although the stage lights were really bright, they were projecting towards the crowd. And then on the second stage in the evening, they went crazy with a smoke machine, which meant that we had a lot of haze, a lot of backlight, very strong reds, and then this beautiful blue. I love this band for visuals. I mean, you should just see him when he looks at that image. That image, look at it. Even in colour, man, I did really good. But on to day 2. My friend Marco joined me for day 2. So the rain came on day 2, and although the crowds were still plentiful, it did kind of hamper a little bit because we were slipping and sliding, but Norwegians just roll with it. I mean, they dressed up beautifully and even improvised. These reenactors honestly had me beaming. They were so funny, and they were just so dedicated to this love that they have for the reenactment. I got to watch them fighting. It was a whole sort of spectacle of skill, comedy, and just brilliant. I will say I got a little too close to the action at one point with a shield hitting me when it dropped to the floor, but we were behind the wire and it was just because of the mud. They did so well. The guy you see fighting now actually got his eye hurt a little bit, but he was smiling with it afterwards. I love all these scenes, and they were so obliging to me when I asked later to do something, which you will see. But honestly, if you get a chance to see these guys, go see them. Totally worth it. So obviously I laid in the mud and got them to attack me, essentially a POV, if you will. The band started really good because the light wasn't as bright as the day before. We had some better visuals. The crew were just amazing. Look at this guy. And I was able to really use the light a lot more effectively. I felt during the daytime before, like it was just straight in their faces. I did use the Omni filter quite a lot here just to sort of create a more interesting look at times. But look at this, like the people just loved it. There wasn't like the sunny hot day that we had, but people were just so engaged and so loving. I think it goes to show just what kind of people go when everyone's just really happy to see all kinds of people at their festival. There's no like, oh no, look who's here. They were just so nice. Now back to the Omni filter and how it helps. So here's without and here's with. That is the same lighting, just using that Omni filter over the top there. So it can really elevate your pictures. I got loads of the crowd. I did a few people smoking. They're looking badass. Don't smoke, kids. Just now when there was a little bit darker, the light just really seemed to play into itself a lot more. The fog, should I say, the smoke machine did give us a little bit of trouble, but you can see here I got close. I was able to clean up the image pretty well and use the Omni right there to get that little halo effect around the guys. So thank you.
It's a festival because I'm in a poncho and it's raining and Marco's in a matching one. His is bougie, his is semi-opaque.
I can't wait to go back next year. I probably will stay as opposed to travelling in and out as I did. But don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell button.